creative friends, this is Freya and thank you so much for being here. So this is my part 4 of working in Painting the Feminine art journal by Connie Solera, and I think I'm gonna wrap things up in this video. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to go in with my oil pastels. I used a little bit of it in my part 3, and you know, I love a lot of what is going on. I just think that I need to kind of put the icing on the cake, so to speak. I need to kind of bring some zing to the page. So I'm just gonna go in with my oil pastels, and I'm using my Caran d'Ache, which is a really good brand. And as you can see, it really kind of livens things up a little bit. And I'm just gonna kind of work it in to the page there. And let me see here. I just want to clean things up a little bit. So the issue I had in my part 3 when I first came to it was that it was too much of Connie's visual voice. So I resolved that by the end of part 3. And now I'm happy, like, this is more my visual language. I mean, I still have retained quite a lot of Connie's work, but not overwhelmingly so. And this is kind of a new way of me working in the sense that my faces are completely abstract. Like usually I will put, you know, I'll put eyes and I'll even in a blue face. So this is a little bit different. Now I have worked with abstract faces where I've made like lines and marks, etc. But these faces are completely blank. So I don't know if I'm okay with that or if I should, you know, do something with it. I'm not sure. So right now I'm just kind of playing and just having fun here. Because it is really fun using my oil pastels. And I'm really loving the colors on this spread. Like it's very interesting to me. And normally I wouldn't use such a cool dominated color palette, but you know, that's one of the great things about working in a book like this is I get really highly influenced by the spread that's already here. And that's a whole, you know, that's a whole purpose of working in a book like this, is to be influenced. So that way I can challenge myself. So I'm really loving that. And I think what I'm gonna do is just kind of make some like interesting lines over here. And maybe it's even gonna show up on the black because this is chalk paint. It really takes well to anything you put over top of it. And I'm still gonna, you know, experiment a little bit about all the stuff it can do because I don't, you know, I don't even know what it can do. I usually use a white gel pen, but it's gonna, like, that pastel looks really good on the chalk paint. So I'm gonna bring in some of the blue into the hair over here. And I'm just playing because I'm not even going for a realistic look. Like I am going for just kind of a very abstract kind of a feel. And that's very freeing. You know, when I'm not even thinking like, oh, this has to look realistic. Like I'm not even, that isn't even on my mind. And that's a really freeing thought. And I can kind of more play when I'm in that frame of mind. So that's kind of really nice. Now what I'm gonna do is I just wanna bring some of this yellow on the black here and see how that yellow is really popping on this black chalk paint. And it's not the color, it's just the fact that the chalk paint is a really good ground for anything I put over top of it to really stand out. And so that's really good. Okay. So I am really loving this yellow over here. So let me bring in some purples here. Let me see. And I want to bring in some of this yellow over here. And you know, if I could get my white gel pen to work, I could bring in some kind of lines and stuff, but I'm not having much luck with my pens. So I'm going to use my Posca markers over here, and I'm just going to kind of like make some outlines. Now, I talked about this in my last video, and the thing is, when I work in a book like this, in this way, I am using this more as a learning tool. I'm not looking, you know, to make a pretty spread, or like I'm not looking to sell my work or anything like that. This is like a really fun way for me to work and to learn and to stretch myself. And it's just such a, like, it's such a valuable way of working for me, because I'm really learning so much without even realizing it. And that's why, you know, it's such a, like, I really urge you to repurpose a book and then utilize some of the images in your work, because you can really gain so much from working in this way. Especially when you free yourself up and, you know, you're not thinking like, oh, it has to look a certain way and you know, it has to be realistic, etc. Like, you're just simply playing and learning, and, you know, that's all you're doing, is you're playing and you're learning. Like, that's, you know, just a fun way of working. So I'm just going for a really kind of an abstract kind of a face right there. And I'm going to leave everything else alone. And I think actually that I am done with this. And I am happy with it in the sense that I think I made it my own. I still incorporated a lot of Connie's work, but it doesn't look like Connie's work. You know, it looks like it's my visual language, but, you know, a little bit different. So I'm happy with where this ended up. And I learned a lot, and I'm sure, like, as I go along, I'm gonna gain even more lessons, that, like, I learned stuff from doing this spread that I don't realize right away, that may not even show itself until, you know, many days or months or weeks later. So I think I'm done for this, and if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!